I started thinking about this topic when the local Catholic college in Regina, Campion College, invited me to teach a course for prospective Catholic teachers, a philosophy of Catholic education course. And I went to Regina Catholic schools and said, if you're hiring people who've graduated from the University of Regina education program and they've taken a course in Catholic education, what do you want them to know? What do you want in your future employees? And they used words I had never heard before. They said curriculum permeation, and curriculum permeation. And I said, what? So quick show of hands, has anyone ever heard of curriculum permeation? I think it's more common in Canada. We use that term, but there's other terms. I just met the person who coined a term for a similar dynamic, Claire, who will be presenting this afternoon. Kilbane, is that right? Claire Kilbane. Catholic academic integration. Has anyone heard of Catholic academic integration? All right. Okay, we've got one. Well, it's coming. Okay. Let's put it a different way. Has anyone been asked to infuse, or pick a verb, infuse, permeate, integrate, something like that, your Catholic faith into your classroom? Have you been asked to infuse your Catholic faith into your classroom? And not just for religion teachers, right? Into your history class, where's the physics teacher? I saw into your physics class, into your math class. Has anyone been asked to do that work, right? That's what they were talking about. I said, what's curriculum permeation? They said, it's teaching every subject from a Catholic point of view. I thought, well, that's a fascinating idea. And so I started exploring it for the first time when I taught this course for prospective Catholic teachers at Campion College. And it eventually became the book, Educating for Eternity, and it's the basis for what we'll talk about this morning and the workshop this afternoon. So this afternoon, we're going to really do nuts and bolts. We're going to break into groups, English teachers with English teachers, science and math teachers, history teachers, and talk about these kinds of things. But this morning, a little more conceptual, theoretical kind of work. I started, the first day of class, I had a sort of a written assignment, learn to recognize what you think by writing an answer to a question you never thought anyone would ask you. And so I had the students, I said, take 10 minutes, get a pen and paper, and write your answer to this question. And the question was, what are people for? What are people for? Now, I'll pause and give you just a second to think what your answer would be to that. What are people for? But also think, and you might think that I have an answer in mind and you've got to get the right answer. That's true, by the way. There is a right answer. You should get it. But that's not the first and most important thing. The first and most important thing is actually, and we saw this in Anthony's presentation, is to engage with the puzzle and learn about both the content on offer and about yourself and your relationship to it by noticing where your mind goes when you think about that question. What are people for? And then think of two subsidiary questions. What does the education on offer in your classroom, in your school, in our country or culture, maybe beyond our Catholic schools, education in general, what does it imagine people are for? And what does it communicate to the young people in your classroom? If they pay attention to, the reasons we give, why should they study math? We give them, some student asks you, why should I study math? And you give some answer. In the background of the answer you just gave them for why they should study math is an answer to the question, what are people for? And they just heard you explain what people are for when they heard you explain why they should study math. Because every education has goals. It is shaped by what the outcomes we desire for these. And if those outcomes are purely this worldly worldly success, jobs, those kinds of things, if the only reason to study things is to give you skills for a job market, then you've just been told that your goal and end is to be able to make enough of a salary to afford some creature comforts. That's what you're for. And then you rot in the ground. Is there an answer to the question, why should I study math, that says something more about the human person and what the human person is made for and what will finally make us happy, that's not, if you're good at math, you can get a decent job as an accountant or an engineer or, pick some other math-focused employment. Now, good jobs are very good. As a subsidiary goal of education, we want people to be employable and have marketable skills, right? But this is the seek ye first principle, right? If you seek the higher goods first, the subsidiary goods will follow. But if you seek the subsidiary goods as if they are the primary goods, you'll lose them all, right? And so what are we thinking about when we educate about the goals of the human person? What is the human person for?